they're kind of like, that's awkward right there. It's okay, but a lot of times they're like, yeah, get off the stage, okay, bye. Don't burn the van on the way out of the parking lot. Okay, we've got a lot of stuff that we're going to cover. And let me try this. Here we go. There's that. Naomi, we got that. Thank you, Naomi. You did it all. You did it. Good job. All right, so let me ask you this. We go to, what time do we go till? 11:45. Okay, so we have a lot to cover. Let me ask you this. What questions might you have? And I'll make sure I'll blend them into what we're going to talk. You're allowed to talk if you want. No questions. Already answered all your questions. Sweet. I'll see you later. No. Does anybody just kind of go? Okay. When I'm preaching at you, grab your Bible, go to the book of Genesis. No, when I'm preaching at you, jot some notes down or something, and along the way, kind of raise your hand, and we kind of just missed the team, Steve. We just kind of did our stuff, and he can't hear me right now. And so, and then just kind of take a notes and stuff like this. I want to go to the first thing right here. This is drama ministry workshop. I'm just going to kind of hit on a couple things right here. If we have time, I might want to go back and spend some time with some Mormons. Raise your hand if you have a drama team in your church right now. Okay, so most of you, okay, all right, good. So good of you. Raise your hand if you're trying to get one started. Okay, so about a third of you. Okay, good. Raise your hand if you're wanting to kind of take your team to the, you hate when it says so cliche, take it to the next level, area commitment, stuff like that. Okay, gotcha. Okay, raise your hand if you're pastors that are in the house. Okay, only one. Did you get lost? I'm just kidding. Obviously, they're not here. Okay, good. So we got, and I saw one walk out. I was just curious what I said. No, I'm kidding. So, all right, good. So we'll kind of end this. Basically, it says right here in the beginning, the purpose of the workshop is just kind of to develop a deeper understanding in this. And it's a lot to give out. A lot to give out in such a short amount of time. I found myself when I was a youth pastor that I wanted to have just a great drama team. I was in college. I was part of a drama team at Leeway way back in the day called Acts of God, and it's now on the way to the Dodo. It's extinct right now. They've got another team in place. And I came out and I just wanted to, take the word of Jesus. And there's nothing wrong with that. By golly, take that zeal and that passion and just times it by 10 and spread it. But it was a challenge finding people of discipline, finding people of the same caliber, and again, I'm not stoking my own fire, but finding people of the commitment. So this workshop hopefully is to find out, a farmer, you plant the crops and then you harvest them and stuff like that. So you're gonna see all this. Point A, in the beginning, God created all things. You're seeing Genesis, you're seeing Daniel right there. That those people that know their God will be mighty and do great things. So you've got these. We'll come back to B about warm-ups. The do's and don'ts will come back to C also. And D, drama is very effective in relation to a variety of age groups. I really feel a lot of times, and I understand this, being the shepherd of a flock, your Sunday morning, Sunday night if you have, really Sunday morning is the time to really feed your sheep. That's the time if you've got an audience of 10 or 1,010, right around there, that's the time. So I know that pastors, I don't say the word are reluctant, but a lot of times they're fearful to get up there. They're stage time, they're pulpit on those things. So that I understand. So like when I bring the team in, that's where I say we're very polished, we're very professional. So like when I was on staff at several churches, and one of my parts of my portfolio was the drama aspect or the creative arts of it all. That's why I assured the pastor, he's like, Jay, how much time do you need? And I said 6 minutes. You're off at 5.5. And I know some churches are on that title time, and some aren't. Get up there, but again, just so pastor's not preaching to 1:30. They want to preach to 1. At least they kind of get the Ryan's late. But to be up there and to be polished and just to look sharp, because you just want to get up there and present your best to God. Yeah. Let's just be honest. I'm going into a bank loan. I'm giving somebody money. The banker, not necessarily has to be in a tie, but he gets up. He's like coughing and blowing snot in his hand and wanting to shake my hand. He's not presenting himself very good. Am I going to get him money? No. It's the same way too, or asking for money. It's the same way too when we get up there and we do the drama. You just want to get up there and look polished, look professional. Just do the best that you can. Okay, so we'll come back to B and C. That's okay. Warm-ups are very important. So those of you that have drama teams and stuff like that, if you want to go on YouTube and you can look at that TV show, Whose Line Is It Anyway? Ever seen that with Drew Carey? they have some fun stuff. We most of the time do warm-ups and a lot of stuff, and maybe it might only be for 3 or 4 minutes. But if it doesn't happen in practice, it's not going to happen on the stage. And I'll be honest with you too. If it doesn't happen in practice for high schoolers, it's not going to get them on stage, and it's going to look terrible. And the pastor's going to want your resignation right there on the spot. And you just tell the pastor what you really think about him or her. No, I'm kidding. You know, with those things. But what so you can look at those, and again, if time allows us, I'll show you a couple more that we have. But basically, you'll see a list right there. The single some of the single exercises, the pulling rope. That's where you have an imaginary rope that's on the ground, and you have the people kind of get around, and they pull it up, and they're holding it, and they pull back and forth. You're teaching acting and reacting to that one. Another one that's on that's really popular, that's really good on YouTube and stuff like that, for Whose Line Is It Anyway, is Hitchhiker. And we'll show that one to you. We'll come back to that one. We'll show that one to you a little bit later on that one, okay? Ringing the bell. What's really good about that one is you can come up and you've got somebody there, and you can do it with 3 or 4 people right there. But you've got somebody that's just standing at the door, and you take a very creative, a popular actor or a character or something like that. And so somebody comes up. So I'm the owner of the house, I guess. And you've got somebody at the door, and somebody goes, ding dong. And you open the door, and that person is the character. They're not pregnant, they're not drunk, they're not, a left-handed politician or something. Now, I don't know, but they're a character. So they're acting like SpongeBob SquarePants. They're acting like Spider-Man. They're acting like Batman. You see my point? And so the person that just answers the door, they have to guess what the character is, and they're acting that way at the door. And you're just like, okay, see ya. You close the door, and the next person comes up. Teaching creativity, teaching to use your imagination, teaching to do a couple different things on that one. Fishing and making a box. We'll come back to that one. Okay, let's go back. Let's look at this one right here. Drama for sermons and services. Number 1 is this: find the purpose in what you're doing. Find the purpose in what you're doing. You'll basically find out that as the pastor, as the youth pastor, as whatever your title may be, it's finding the purpose, finding out exactly is that what you're trying to do for that one. Something that I always did was I would keep a list of stuff for the pastor, sermons. And if one was called like toaster oven, and he's like, I'm not having a drama down at my church called toaster oven, whatever. But I had a list for the pastor. For this one, like the one we just did was called Jenny and the Lie. And for that one, I had a description of a funny way of looking at lying. The second one was called Too Busy. And the description I kept for pastor on that one was, it gave a little detail. So when he's kind of looking and he's trying to wonder what exactly he can do, he's like, you know what? I want James' team to, when I was at church, I'm like, hey. So he'd call up and say, hey, Jay, what's that skit about the something? Oh, yeah, Pastor Jenny. Yeah, can you guys do that on Sunday morning? Absolutely. So one good way about finding the purpose in what you're doing is keeping a list for the pastor and updating it. Don't just go up and say, hey, pastor, don't forget, we've got some dramas. Well, I guarantee you, he gets told that a lot of times. Hey, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to do this. Pastors are being pulled in just so many different directions. And the idea of drama goes along with part of the message, if we could say. Does that make sense on that one? Yes, preaching of the word is good, but sometimes a 5-minute drama can convey what can't be said in a 55-minute message. Same way, a drama can be so bad that it takes a 55-minute message just to kind of cover it up. And trust me, I burned a lot of bridges because of working with these drama teams, thinking that they were ready and they weren't. Pastor Colball was here, and we could just talk about it and things like that. Number 2 is this: make it sharp and make it professional. Make it sharp and make it good. Does my pastor always have to be on time? No. We travel a good little bit, and bless his heart, we're in Michigan, and there was a pastor, and I don't mean to disrespect, but he's just kind of old school, and he would mow his yard in a tie. You think I'm kidding? And it was suit pants, and he had a tie, and he had suspenders on. And I felt so bad. We were traveling, and he's like sleeping, so I got up at 8:30 or something that morning, and I heard the mower going. I was like, and I was like, my gosh, let me do it. No, I want to do it, Brother Jay. And I go, well, you're dressed up. He goes, no, these are my mowing yard clothes. And I go, so what do you do with the pinstripe? I want to say, what's the 3-button breast jacket? The double-breasted jacket and stuff. Not saying, but that's the way he is. But you want to make it sharp and make it professional. So you want to find define the culture of your church. We always err on the side of caution. Every time we do something, we're in khakis and a polo. You know, I try times, but normally by the time you get up there and you do 45 minutes of drama, you are a sweaty mess. And nobody's going to come and love on you or give you a hug or anything like that. You're like, you know, just sweating bullets and stuff like that. And so khakis and a polo, make it sharp and make it professional. When I'm in town, my home church is North Cleveland, and Pastor Maloney, he called me one time, and they're doing this sermon about giving to people. And he goes, Jay, I want you to act. He used this fancy word in Babylon, but he meant a homeless person. He goes, I want you to act like a homeless person. I go, okay. He goes, can you do that? I said, oh yeah, I can do that. And he excused me not to shave for 2 weeks. Good, is it good enough for me? I can sleep in an extra 5 seconds. And so we met at Chick-fil-A, we talked it through, and he's like, I want you to get up there and be loud and as brass as you can be. And I said, are you sure about this? He goes, yeah. I go, I'm not going to get tased or anything, you know? And if you've ever been to North Cleveland, you know it's like the mothership of Pentecostalism and stuff like that, and they want it done a certain way. And I go, he goes, well, as soon as I say Isaiah chapter 15, I want you to jump up and do your thing. And I said, you're sure? He goes, yeah. I go, all right. So all during the week, you know, he called me Sunday morning, hey Jay, you still good? Man, I got your back, Pastor. We're good. All right. So we had met before anybody was at the church, and so before the church, I was like, you want to be professional? He's like, yeah. I had a toboggan on, I had not the, you know, I looked rough. I didn't take a shower, so I was kind of, you know, I had my hair kind of, and I just walked around. And in like 20 minutes, I was in front of the church, and I went inside, you know, and I kind of was trying to be not a jerk, you know, but like, can I help you? No. And they're like, can I pray for you? No. You know, like that. I was actually going to ask for some money right there. Could you make the check? I gave my wife Cherie, Christ, please. Thank you right there, you know. For the kids through college, right there. Will you take a check for $1,000? Absolutely. You know, right there. Put that in the bank now, it'll be worth $5 where the stock market is. And right now, so, you know, and I was just in character. I walked in late, and I sat down, buddy. Pastor Maloney was supposed to tell the ushers that this was going to happen. And right there, he said Isaiah 15. I go, Isaiah 15. And I blow up. There's 1,200 people in this church. And I go, what are you talking about? And I see an usher go, code 13, code 13. And they're like running after me. I'm like, buddy, I was going to cut boom in the head right there. Pow! Larry Mellon Curly, right there, you know? And so they're running, and Pastor Maloney has to stop his message. He goes, wait. This is Jerry's part of the message. Go on, Jay. I was like, well, you totally blew my character now, you know? And I start doing the thing, you know, talk about helping people. They took up an offering to help people at Christmas time and stuff like that. Well, praise God, it was so professional that, you know, he had to kind of break the scene so that I'm alive right now. In fact, it's funny, we just signed the health insurance policy. If I had died there, my wife would have been a rich woman. So I don't know. That's why she was encouraging the ushers to take me out, I guess. Okay, so that's good. Number 3, make it a part of the church. You know, I mean, you got to have worship. Every time we go to a church, I mean, I've lost count after a while. I mean, praise God, praise the Lord. I'm so proud of my team. I praise God that the pastors are wanting us to come. They always say, Brother Jake, is it okay if we have worship? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. You know, it's such an intricate part of our experience. Make drama the same way. You know, about making it a part of the church. You know, it's like, you know, well, hey man, we got to allot 15 minutes for worship. Make the team so polished and so sharp where the pastor says, how much time do you need? My brother goes to a church in Atlanta. It's called 12 Stone. It's like one of these, I mean, it's a mega church. I mean, they are caffeinated to the hilt there. They give out Starbucks coffee. I think they have 4 services. The pastor's name is PK. It's Pastor Kevin Myers, the pastor. And they have Saturday, Sunday morning at like 9, 11, and they have to start at 2 o'clock. I think there's like 18,000 people that go there during the time. I mean, and they are good. And I went there one time, and I was just like, I got to see this thing. Drama's in every message. And it might be like a Jenny and the Lie. It might be a Too Busy. But it's part of their message. That is the era that we live in. And I'll be honest with you. And it's sad to say, I love reading. But sometimes between reading a book and seeing a movie, I used to think I'd want to read a book. But now sometimes the way these movies are, you're like, whoa, you want to see it. But on surround sound and everything. So make it visual. Because if you basically take your age and cut it in half, that's about our attention span, roughly. Unless you change something. Every methodology, every pedagogical class that you take, everything you ever talk about with teaching, they always tell you to change it up, change it up, change it up. If you think back to your school teachers that you enjoyed in elementary, middle, and high, were they always doing things different? They up there and just lecture for 15 minutes. Those are the ones that don't make it nowadays in the teaching profession. Because kids are often engaged. So again, I'm not doing anything like I know when I'm speaking somewhere at camps or at churches and stuff like that, we're always trying to change it up a little bit to keep people's attention span. Same thing. So make it a part of the church. Number 4, allow it to become important. It's a ministry. I love it where my wife is involved in the choir and they go, Jay, they're doing a choir dinner. Can I go? I'm like, well, you're asking my permission because, if I say no, you're just going to say I'm going anyway. But I just kind of chuckle and I go, well, yeah. It's a ministry. It's an outlet, the choirs and the Sunday school classes and stuff. And that's what the drama team can be. Those things. Make it important to the church and to the aspect of the pastor. Now, again, make it important to the pastor or the pastor's council or however it needs. The 5th one right here, too. So much to do. I'm sorry. Find a mission for it to complete. Take it outside the church. Get out there and you're doing these block parties. You get up there and you do the ministry and stuff like that. Can only drama be done in the main stage? Absolutely not. A lot of times we get into some of these the mega churches, if you want to call it, for our denomination, and we'll do the kids' churches. Man, I love doing kids' churches because they are fun. You just have to tell 2 jokes and you're a winner. We get up there and they eat it up. But make it a mission of the church. You've got this polished team. Get in there and do other things. A lot of times, praise the Lord, we get the opportunity to do a lot of youth camps. I love doing teenagers, but I love doing kids. You're like, man, I don't want the Baptists always go, oh, hey. But those kids, they will come down and intercede for that. With teenagers, it takes 2 dramas, it takes a video, you got to preach for 20 minutes, and you got to bribe with a pizza, Wait till you hear the adults. No, I'm just kidding, I'm not going down there. I'm going to get Lorraine Livingston up here and preach to you right there. Or hit you in the head with the Bible. But find a mission for it to complete. Getting involved. Getting to do things in the church. Making it do stuff. 6th thing is this. Don't be afraid to use people. Don't be afraid. If somebody comes in and they're good, I'll be honest. You know this. People want a place to get plugged in. 6 years ago, when I came on staff at Lee, basically, very simply stated, I was in South Georgia. Youth pastor there for 3 years and came at Lawrence Church of God. It's big. It's in Atlanta. I loved it. It was my home church. Got about 1,600 people there. They came in, man, I loved it. I loved it. Pastor Cobalt's my pastor, and Kevin's there as a youth pastor. Man, every week was trying. He's like, Jay, do it. I was like, yeah, I'm working with this team to do what you got to do. I already had a connection. Lee offers me the staff position. I grew up my family and go, and I didn't know anybody. I had friends, but it was hard for me to find a church. And ultimately, it came down to was I just felt like I was needed. And we went to all these churches, and somebody just came up and said, "We need your help." Okay, Now we all want to feel love. You know what I'm saying? Love, needed to do stuff. Especially as guys. Why did you know? Why do you get your husbands to do stuff? You don't nag. You don't tell them to do it, baby. Yeah. Can you do this for me? Oh, yeah. Those of you that aren't married, cover your eyes. Kiss, buddy. You got the world right there, I'm not telling you, pastors, to kiss your congregation. Only if they're keys. I'm just kidding like that. Or if they tithe $1 million, by all means, take them out the stage every once in a while, But don't be afraid. They just want to be used, not abused, but used in that situation. Find an avenue to plug in. They're here and they think I'm just kissing up to them, but I'm not. There's a great church called Boaz Church of God, and I'm not going to embarrass my pointing them out. But they're one of the few churches that I see that, and I've talked about them before at other times I've done this stuff. They have an adult on the team. There are adults that are there that want, and the pastor's not afraid to use them. And maybe it's just once a month or once a quarter or something. Or maybe they just do a dinner theater or something. A lot of churches, the biggest fundraiser I would ever do as a youth pastor, I'd do a Valentine's dinner theater, and I'd raise $3,500 in one night. And the parents, they would potluck the dinner, but I'd say, hey, you parents, I need you guys to bring, biscuits and bread or whatever. I need you guys to bring this. I need you to bring this and this. Would they come out for the cooking? No. They come out and see the kids do dramas. And we do this play. We'd sell roses and stuff like that. But, buddy, we worked on it for months. And that was my youth budget for a week. I'm just kidding, That was my youth budget for a while. You know, there's usually have to raise your own funds and stuff. So again, number 1, find a purpose. 2, make it sharp, make it polished. 3, make it a part of the church. 4, allow it to become important. 5, find a mission for it to complete. And number 6, don't be afraid to use people. Any questions at this part yet? We good? We okay? Everybody waiting? You slap somebody next to you? We'll do that in the next session. All right, very good. Let's go to the next page right over here. It's called Director's Madness. It's okay. Now, this is just some ideas that I jotted down about kind of convincing the pastor or the leaders at B or you to kind of solidify your drama team a little bit better. Again, a lot of this stuff are on the DVDs that we have out there, but you got to enhance this even better. Number 1 is I've already talked about this. Make a list. Make a list of the dramas that you have for your pastor, so he or she knows what's involved. Always update it. You know, say, pastor shares 2 or 3 skits that would be really, really good. Sometimes it's just word of mouth. I guarantee you, when I get new people on the team, the team is about a year commitment. This segment of the team, we've been around since mid-August, right around there, as they all go to sleep during my preaching. Mid-August, right around there. Whenever they get new team members, buddy, I guarantee you, I wait about a month and I call those pastors. Hey, so-and-so, your great-great-great-great-granddaughter's here. What? She said I'm great-great. No, you're great-great. Doing those things. So, about making a list so that you can always remind the pastors that you're there and that you can be involved. Don't hound them, but make them a part of that. Just say, hey, I'm thinking about doing a sermon series. Or my favorite one, sometimes pastors like, hey, I'm going to do this message on love, and they call it Saturday night before. Yeah, I feel God's telling me not to do it on love anymore. He wants me to do it on faithfulness or something. You're like, so did you hear him wrong the first time or the second? I don't know. Anyway, I don't approach that right there. But you then say, do you have anything on that? And I'll be honest with you. When I was on staff, the answer was always yes. Did I lie? Maybe. I don't know. I stayed up a lot of nights writing stuff. And then we get there and pastor would say, yeah, I feel like doing it on faithfulness. I want to do it back on love. I'm like, you can still do it on love? Yeah. And I'm like, Facebook, yeah, right there, Oh, yeah. Smiley, no, you don't get a smiley face anymore. You got a frowny face, when I text you. List of dramas for you, so you don't forget. Wherever my bag is, I don't know, I forget, what all we have. My little key to player notebook that I keep, that I've had for 6 years, if you look on the back of it, I have a list of the dramas that we're doing for that year. So I remember what we're doing or what I hope to attain. So as the director, you want to have a list of skits that you have, so that you know. So a pastor says, hey, do you have anything on love? Oh, yeah, we do. Right there. Or you have an app for it on your phone or something. Those of you that are technology savvy. Let the pastor know that you're available. Hey, you might not be able to do stuff on Sunday morning, but by golly, you can do it on Sunday night. A lot of times, Brother Jay, we can't have you on Sunday morning, but we'd love to have you on Sunday night. Cool. We got it. And those things like that. Have a core group of drama people. My team, when I was doing youth pastoring, I had a varsity and a junior varsity. And I'm just gonna be honest with you on this one. If I go to the best steakhouse in Chattanooga, or whatever that could be, and they're like, Jay, we've got a 20-ounce ribeye that you have to have. Love it. Do it. Eat it. If I've got those 20 ounces, do I want 5 ounces of it to be gristle and fat? No, I want it to be lean cut. That's the same way with the drama team or with any ministry. But Jay, again, we're about this, about people. True, and you don't want to offend anybody, but sometimes somebody who ain't quite at this doesn't sound like at the state level, but they're just not as committed, you can kind of grow a little bit. And I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I've had team members on the team, or even when I was at youth pastoring, that were just so raw, just terrible. And, but you just saw something in them. And, I mean, he's a very dear friend of mine. I can say I had a team member on the team named Kyle. Worst audition I've ever seen. Got up there, and the boy could never talk a sentence. And I'm like, we actually, this is a speaking drama team. I know. Buddy, after 3 years on the team, I was afraid to give him a microphone because he was going to preach it up right there. I'm like, no, But praise God, not that I'm being sensitive or anything, but sometimes you take what's really raw and move it in there. So this is what I did as a youth pastor. I had a varsity and junior varsity. Everybody started off on junior varsity. Okay? then they had to audition for the varsity. And it was a 6-month commitment or semester. So sometimes you've got football and baseball season. So you got the baseball players that can't do it this time, or the football. But you've got the person, Pastor Jay, I really want to do the skit. Well, I've got auditions in a month for the varsity. And you have to adhere to those rules. And man, it was hard. And I'll be honest, and I brought a lot of the team. When the team has a hiccup on stage or they mess up, for every mistake that they do, how many push-ups is it? 10 push-ups. Every drop line is what? 10 push-ups. Every time I forgot, it's what? 10 push-ups. And when I would have this varsity, they're like, why are you doing push-ups when you're not on the team? I guarantee you for choir, they've got the same commitment. If you don't show up, you're not on the choir. If you want to have quality, you got to have it. Now again, things always happen. But how many times can your grandmother die and you not show up? See my point? How many grandparents do you have? Well, you know, my girl, well, dude, you got too much drama going on in your life. We need to write a movie about it, okay? And it's the same thing with the team right here. It's the 10. Of course, they're different because they're in college. They love being with me, I'm sure. No comment. All right, so give them the resources to make it happen. Have a designated director and leader. There needs to be somebody in leadership. You can have the committee, but there needs to be that person. Like in the church, there's that one person that's the big dog. However, it's the pastor, or the pastor kind of, I know Mike is very busy here, Dr. Chapman, but if you have a question, he might lead you over to somebody because they're just so big in a lot of these places. So there needs to be a designated leader. Listen to songs and get creative. I heard a song the other morning. My wife and I get the carpool sometimes in the mornings, and I heard something, and I texted because it tore me up. It was, I'm glad I texted because I can't remember it right now. And you listen, I go, ooh, that's going to be, and I just text myself, and literally when I'm texting, it says, me. And Shree goes, you're nuts. And I go, you just realize I've been out for 13 years of marriage. And I just text myself, I go, what is this song? And she poured it up on her Pandora. It was like, new song, something. And I was like, maybe I won't develop into a drama this year, but by golly, one year it will be. Keep a list with you of ideas. Pastors, I guarantee you do that. They're like, ooh, don't hear that camp meeting? Yeah, I want to recycle that one in a month. I'm just kidding. Actually, they do. It's okay. I've done that before, too. You go, Lorraine Livingston. What's point number 3? Oh, yeah, you go, Paul Laverne Walker. Yeah. Like that. You go, drama team. That team talent, buddy. Woo! I'm taking notes, man. I like it. Ooh, that was bad. I would do that differently right there. It's not stealing. It's what? Borrowing, exactly. Right there. So, keep a list of the songs right there. Keep an idea. My wife and I were doing something the other night. It was so funny. And it was not the reason for me not to do dishes, ladies. Because if you come to my house, you'll know I'm whooped or whatever. But dishes and laundry are my thing. I don't know why I can relax when I do that. But we're doing the dishes. And we hear a song of Amazing Grace. And it was Chris Tomlin was singing. And I said, oh. I go, that would make a good drama to this. And she goes,